Hi, I'm Chef Susie with LearnToCook.com. Today I'm going to be making lemon bars. It's a classic favorite, a nice tangy dessert, especially for summertime coming up. Earlier I prepared a simple basic tart dough recipe, which is also called a short dough, and I let it sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes so it can firm up a little bit. So now I'm going to roll this out and I'm going to line the pan for the lemon bars with the dough. So now I'm going to blind bake the crust. It's a term used for baking a crust with nothing inside, with no filling. And you have to weight these down a little bit so the bottoms don't buckle on you and the sides don't come down. So I'm just going to make a weight with some rice. I'm going to use some plastic wrap too. And the plastic wrap, it's not going to melt in the oven. Plastic has a really high melting temperature, so you're fine with this. So I'm just going to pour some rice in here for my weight, for my blind bake. Then I'm going to be putting this in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until my crust starts to get a little bit of color on it. This way, when we go ahead and bake it with the lemon filling, we won't have any doughiness in the bottom of the crust. So knowing that, I'm going to pop this in the oven, then we'll let it cool and fill it. Now that my shell for my lemon bar is baked, it's pre-baked, not all the way, it's nice and firm. This way, when I put the mix in and I bake it again, it's not going to have any doughy spots. So pre-baking the shell a little bit until the edges are a little golden brown will ensure that you don't have any doughiness on the bottom. So knowing that, we're going to go ahead and make our lemon filling. I have my sugar and my flour and my lemon zest in my bowl, and I'm just going to be mixing this together. And then I'm going to add my eggs, which I'm using Eggland's Best organic eggs. It's an egg that I really like to use, that I keep in my kitchen all the time. So I'm going to add the eggs until they're well incorporated. This is a really easy mix, just a few simple ingredients. And what's nice too is you don't have to use a mixer, you can do it all by hand. And another plus to using these Eggland's Best organic eggs, they have a brown shell, and I had a little shell in my mix, so I was easily able to see it because of the brown color. So once my eggs, my sugar, my flour, and my lemon zest are well incorporated, I'm going to add in my lemon juice and then pour the entire mix over the shell that I baked. I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350 degrees until it's well set. You can shake it. If it's still a little jiggly like a pie, that means it's not done yet. So it's going to take in between 20 and 25 minutes. So my mix is just about ready to go in the pan. I just want to make sure it's all well incorporated. Then I'm just going to pour it right onto the shell. Use my whisk to spread it around a little bit. Now I'm going to put this in my 350-degree oven. Now that the lemon bar has been baked until it's nice and set, and it kind of has a little bit of a crunchy top on it, which is fine. And it should have just a little bit, like a little hue of golden brown. And I shook it to make sure it was all set before I took it out, and I felt it and it was nice and firm. All of the eggs were cooked. So I'm going to be taking it out of the pan to cut it. You can easily cut it in the pan, but I always like to take mine out. And especially since it has this nice tart crust on it, it's really kind of not too hard to move around. But if it's easier, just go ahead and cut it right in the pan. I'm going to dust it with some powdered sugar. And keep in mind, if you store these in the refrigerator, especially in the humid months, the powdered sugar may dissolve on you, but just go ahead and dust them again. It's one of those things that just happens with these desserts, so be mindful of that. So I'm giving it a nice dusting of powdered sugar. And I'm going to be cutting it with my French knife into squares. You can cut the crust off or leave it on. I like to leave it on because it's just one of those things that I like to eat. So it's nice to have a little crust. Some of your guests or your family may enjoy it. So I'm just cutting rows. And then I'm just cutting some nice squares. You can cut these a little bit bigger if you'd like, or even a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to go ahead and plate these on my long plate. And you can see it's nice and well done. Nothing is oozing out. It's almost like a little bit of a custard type of filling, a little lemon custard. These are nice if you just fan them along your plate. You can kind of mix them up with crust and plain. And that's our lemon bar today. And thanks for joining me at LearnToCook.com.
Well, thanks for joining us today at LearnToCook.com. Be sure to comment and to subscribe. Also visit us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great day and thank you.